Welcome to Lambo's World of Sports, featuring Big Brother, featuring Sideline Sports Network. All right, Eagles versus the Rams, a potential playoff matchup. When this happens, don't be surprised. I'm gonna be like I told you so because these teams will probably meet up again in the playoffs. I get it. The Rams are 2-2. The Eagles are undefeated, and I said the Eagles is gonna win the NFC East. But I'm gonna shock y'all with this pick. Now, before I get into the pick. Kooper Cupp might play this weekend. He did practice today. All right, he might play. I'm not sure if he's going to play or not, but he did practice today. All right, you got to watch out for Puka Nakuka, whatever his name is. Puka. He was on my fantasy, all right? He gave me about 35 points on fantasy, and I feel like he's a key target. Like I said, that Eagles secondary is about to probably get exposed. It should have got exposed weeks ago, but I feel like this is the week it could get exposed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Jalen Hurts has won 22 straight starts dating back to last season.
No, he's won 10 straight. He's won 21 of his past 22 or something.
20, my bad. 21 of his past 22. It's like a long. I said it like that because I didn't know the last time Jalen Hurts really lost, except the Super Bowl and whatnot. But regular season wise,
he's won 10 regular season games in a row.
All right, so yeah, that part. It just sounds great. But ladies and gentlemen, Jalen Hurts, like I said, he's up there to possibly win the MVP and all that stuff. They still have AJ Brown, they still have Devontae Smith. Like I said, they got great guys. The question is that defense is hella suspect. Now Fletcher Cox is questionable. I'm not sure if he's gonna play, but that's a valuable part of that defensive line. I'm going to pick the upset alert. I'm going to pick the Rams to win this game. Yes, I believe in Sean McVay. I believe in Matthew Stafford. And if Kooper Cupp plays this weekend, oh, Lord, the Eagles are full of trouble. And they got Puka on the other side. Woo, boy. They go tear that defense up. I'm trying to tell you. I understand that the running back position, Kyron Williams, is questionable to play. But like I said, the Rams have changed the scheme as far as the run game, and they're consistent, and Matthew Stafford gets rid of that ball quickly, game over. Not only that, you forgot the Rams had Aaron Donald. All right? Aaron Donald, one of the best defensive tackles in all of football. All right? He will put pressure. There is some kind of weakness on that Eagles O-line. It could be the left, it could be the right, and it could be the middle. But I'm going to tell you something. Matthew Stafford probably going to outplay Jalen Hurts as far as throwing the ball. I understand the man can't run, but passing back-to-back, Matthew Stafford can throw that ball 50 times a game. But that's not Sean McVay's offense. Sean McVay wants to mix it up a little bit. The Eagles' defense in that middle of that zone, they're going to get exposed. And I promise you, Rams win 31-28.
All right. Well, first different choice from the two of us so far. I'm going with the Eagles. So Eagles offense is 5th in the league in yards per game and in scoring. Whereas, like the Rams offense has been putting up yards. They're actually putting up, like 0.5 more yards per game than the Eagles, but they're putting up around the same amount of yards per game, but they're only scoring 24.5 points a game. So they're not really finishing it. Like we talk about Puka, he's 2nd in the league in receiving yards, 1st in reception, 3rd in plays over 20 yards, and 3rd in yards after the catch, but he only has 1 touchdown. So it's the same thing of what you were talking about yesterday with my Cowboys not being able to finish in the red zone. It's the same and to a higher extent for the Rams this season. Stafford, he has been throwing the ball he threw for 38 times week 1, 55 week 2, 33 week 3, and 40 times last week. So it's not like they're out here saving his arm or anything. And he's only completing 62%. He's got 3 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. And he's middle of the road when it comes to QBR and passing rating. He's 27th. So they're piling up yards, but I don't know if they're not really all meaningful yards. They're not scoring. They're turning the ball over. And when it comes to, like the Eagles is a team that almost set the single season sack record last year. And they retained most of those same guys. Their defense is, they're middle of the road so far, and it's because of their secondary hasn't been as strong. But on the ground, like they're the second best team in stopping the run. So when it comes down to it, like even if that running back is going to come into the game off of like the questionable tag or not, he's not going to get much play anyway, I wouldn't imagine, just because of how good this team is at stopping the run. So it's going to come down to Matthew Stafford and his arm. And yeah, if Coop is there and he's playing, then this game is a coin flip. But I see it a little bit more leaning towards the Eagles, just because of not, like the inability, but the inconsistency with the offense, finishing drives and scoring points, whereas the Eagles are 5th in the league in scoring. So I've got it 35-31 Eagles. The spread is 4.5. I've got it at 4. So I guess I would say I have the Rams covering, but the Eagles money line.
I think it might be a little bit difficult, and I may overreact a little bit. I feel like it might be a little bit difficult for the Rams to really run the ball against the Eagles defense, which only allows 252 yards rushing all season, which is actually second fewest in the league. But I feel like the Eagles need to be exposed in the run game. I don't know if teams have been scared to try to run the ball on the Eagles, but especially with, Fletcher Cox being questionable, they also have other key guys being out. The Kobe Dean is placed on IR, by the way. Those are the guys as well. I feel like they need to get exposed in the run game. So if Sean McVay sticks to his game plan and he doesn't get away from the run, which I don't think he will unless he's completely down in the fourth quarter, I feel like he can try to test, the run game. By the way, Kyron Williams did come off an 100-yard rush game. I'm not sure if it was last week, 2 weeks ago, but he does have an 100-yard rush game at some point this year. So I feel like if Kyron Williams has a good game as well, if Puka has a good game as well, and if Kooper Cupp plays, and they use a tight end, I'm not sure if Tyler Higbee is playing or if he's out and whatnot. But if you get those 3 key guys, the Rams have a chance to win at home and come up with the upset against those sorry-ass Eagles.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I was saying too. Like they're second in the league in defending the run, and a lot of it, like they played the Vikings, they shut down Madison there. They when they played the Bucks, Rashad didn't get going, and in those games they build such a lead that like the opposing team has to go to majority pass offense because they're down later in the game. So I agree with you. Like it's not all just because they're stuffing everybody at the run, but like you have to appreciate the fact that they're only holding them to that many yards because they're able to get up in the game. And that comes with stopping the run in the first, the second, and the third quarter as well, until like they need to go pure pass offense in like the fourth. So yeah, I'm with you when it comes to like how good their defense is. But I don't know, like Kyron didn't practice today. Sean said it was precautionary and that he expects him to play on Sunday, but like not practicing on Thursday is a little late, like to still not be in a practice at all. So, and they just traded Cam Akers too. So it's not like they're super deep at running back. And with the way that Matt's been throwing the ball, like he's up there in yards, of course, but he's also only throwing it. He's barely above 60%. He's got 5 picks to 3 touchdowns. So, like they're going to have to throw the ball probably like 50 times. And I just don't know if I trust that over the Eagles.
Well, next video will recap all of the Week 5 games. Like I said, we'll see who wins this one. All the Week 5 games in the next episode. Will Matt Eberflus be fired after tonight's game against the Washington Commanders? There's some rumors about that as well. Like I said, Justin Fields is an offensive coach, not a defensive coach. None of that really works unless you're the Patriots with the offensive coordinator, but that's not working as of right now. That's something I'll debate on later. Will Mike Tomlin make changes once they lose to the Ravens as well? That's the story of the week 5, by the way. And of course, we'll see. We already talked about the Cowboys and 49ers, but what can the Chargers do? Are they better with Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator? Are they better? Or is Brandon Staley somewhat going to be on the hot seat? We'll talk about that in the next 5 minutes of Lambo Sports. Recapping all week 5 games, next 5 minutes. Goodbye and adios.